In the development of this game, we've seen trailers, gameplay, music, we get the basic story, and now we get to experience how the game plays and feels for ourselves. I've played about half of Episode Duscae, so my impressions will only be within the first 2 hours of the demo. To start off, the game's title screen has a new version of Somnus, which is a song from the first Versus 13 trailer. I really liked that song, so it hyped me up, and it also reminded me of how long some people have been waiting. Controlling Noctis feels good. A character with different walking speeds like a stroll or a jog or a tiptoe or a sprint makes me feel more in control of the character, and that helps immerse me. I was expecting the combat to be like Kingdom Hearts, but it's more complex. I haven't gotten the hang of it yet. Part of the combat will be mastering when to use warp dodges and parries, or when just to hold down the defense button for, defending against enemies. I was also expecting to be able to switch between weapons during combat. Instead, there's slots with different roles, like the initial strike, your parrying weapon, and the general attack weapon. You equip weapons to those slots, and during combat, the CPU will automatically swap them out depending on which one is best for the current attack. So far, the CPU has done a good job of picking appropriate weapons. This system could be even more fun in the final version of the game, where there'll be more weapons to experiment with. One annoyance is that I wish you didn't need to camp to save at a campsite. I wish one of the options in the campsite menu, in addition to rest and spar, was just save. Alright, let's talk about the characters so far. We don't really get any exposition about the characters' backstories so far as I've played, so all the character information has been through their dialogue between each other, and there's subtle characterization in their clothing and from how they fight and walk. From what I've seen, the characters are natural and they don't have exaggerated voices, and the dialogue is fitting. Their friendship is convincing from how they help each other out in battle and lovingly poke fun at each other. Their camaraderie definitely adds to the enjoyment. There's a story-related enemy that you take down together, and when you succeed, their celebration and encouragement makes me feel more accomplished and appreciated than otherwise. Also, the voice acting sounds better than in the trailers. Sometimes I have a hard time distinguishing between Noctis' voice and Gladiolus' more subdued voice. Like, after defeating an enemy, someone says, "That's all she wrote." I think Noctis said that, but it's kind of hard to distinguish between them sometimes. So maybe in the final version, they'll, change the audio mixing up a little bit so it's a little more clear who's speaking. On to how the game looks. Cool visuals are my favorite thing about video games. Square Enix is known for its visuals and graphics, and Episode Duscae succeeded in thrilling me. The attacks and abilities are flashy and colorful, but also there's a lot of detail in the lighting and textures as well. I should also commend the little details in this game, like when you walk past a bush and Noctis pushes the branches aside. I want to quickly point out a technical issue I experienced because game studios comb the internet for fan feedback, and they should know about this. I was tracking an enemy for a quest, and after I finished tracking it, the quest didn't say anything about the task being completed. Then I was stuck in this misty forest and I could barely see anything, so I had to restart the game. Then I worked on the second try, but it's a significant issue. In closing, the first 2 hours have been a pleasurable experience. The final version of the game will be running on a more powerful version of the current game engine, so that should fix some of the frame rate drops, but honestly, occasional frame rate drops don't bother me since this game is so big that it's a reasonable problem. Anyway, I'll probably review Episode Duscae once I complete it, so that might come out in the next couple of weeks. That's all I have to say, so thanks for listening, and please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed.